A devastating explosion tears through the Ukrainian front line as another Western armored vehicle is turned into a blackened hull of twisted metal. This is the tragic reality for France's AMX-10 RC, a vehicle widely celebrated as a tank killer, but now proven to be highly vulnerable in the brutal war zone of Ukraine. In the high-stakes environment of the Zaporizhzhia sector, these rapid combat platforms are being thrust into the absolute apex of modern conflict, where retreating is not an option, and a single tactical misstep means a complete mission failure. Facing a fortress of multi-layered dense minefields, relentless heavy artillery barrages, and hunting swarms of Russian Lancet loitering munitions, Ukrainian crews find themselves dangerously exposed. With leading global defense analysts arguing that this highly sophisticated European platform has been trapped in a fatal strategic mismatch, a burning question emerges. Why did a wealthy G7 nation send a premium asset that has left front-line soldiers feeling completely defenseless? And was this hasty deployment a brilliant geopolitical catalyst or a catastrophic tactical blunder? On paper, this combat system represents an engineering marvel, boasting an impressive 105mm main gun mounted on an ultra-light chassis that can clock speeds of over 85 kilometers per hour. Yet, when encountering the unforgiving realities of Eastern Europe, this premium Western technology becomes practically useless for direct assault. The strategic paradox is profound, because a nation with an advanced defense industrial complex provided a machine built for rapid desert warfare, only for it to be completely naked against massive artillery fragments. Ukrainian soldiers quickly discovered that the vehicle's lightweight aluminum hull simply cannot withstand the immense kinetic pressure of near misses from heavy artillery. Before we go on, do you think tactical flexibility matters more than heavy armor on the modern battlefield? And tell me where you're watching from. Subscribe to the channel right now to never miss our deep dive military investigations. The unfolding disaster along the southern front lines exposes a deeply ironic situation for military commanders in Ukraine. Ukrainian forces originally deployed the AMX-10 RC to bridge a catastrophic operational void, which was their desperate shortage of heavy breakthrough vehicles capable of shattering heavily fortified lines. Their existing stock of Soviet-era tanks had suffered massive attrition, and Western planners initially believed these agile French machines could act as the swift tip of the spear. This calculation created a severe strategic paradox because it sent a system designed for low-intensity colonial policing operations straight into the teeth of an industrial warfare machine. On paper, the vehicle appeared to be a brilliant cost-effective solution, but on the muddy battlefields of Eastern Europe, its inherent design philosophy rendered it completely useless for high-intensity assaults. The primary problem stems from a fundamental mismatch in tactical requirements. The AMX-10 RC employs a 6x6 wheeled configuration designed for rapid movement across the hardened sands of Africa, but this setup becomes utterly helpless when encountering the thick black mud of Ukraine, which bogs the vehicle down and leaves it entirely exposed to enemy observation. Furthermore, international defense observers point out that the vehicle relies on an uncommon French 105mm low-pressure gun that utilizes proprietary ammunition. This unique caliber is completely incompatible with standard NATO stockpiles, forcing Ukrainian logistics networks into a nightmare of supplying a boutique weapons system while under constant fire. When trying to break through the multi-layered Surovikin line, these light armored units found themselves facing heavy artillery shell fragments that easily shredded their aluminum hulls. What was meant to be an agile asset instead became a liability, leaving crews entirely defenseless against entrenched positions and demonstrating how a highly advanced Western vehicle could fail in the face of modern tactical realities. To survive this meat grinder of industrial warfare, Ukrainian military planners quickly realized they desperately required a completely different class of machinery. On paper, their only tactical salvation would be the rapid acquisition of heavy Western main battle tanks, specifically the German Leopard 2A6 and the American M1A1 Abrams. These massive 60-ton platforms represent the critical gap-filling solution because they are engineered specifically to survive the exact threats that render lighter vehicles completely useless. Unlike the light aluminum hull of the French Scout car, these heavy platforms feature multi-layered composite armor and heavy tracks that distribute weight perfectly over treacherous terrain. Independent defense experts argue that this specific engineering design is the only technical and economic solution capable of preserving highly trained crews when breaching fortified defense lines. When a heavy tank like the Leopard 2A6 encounters an explosive mine or a near miss from a heavy artillery shell, the vehicle might suffer a temporary track failure, but the internal crew capsule remains intact, keeping the soldiers from becoming entirely defenseless. This specific survival capability changes the entire defensive and offensive equation for forces on the ground. Instead of being easily forced into a retreat by fragmentation or light counterattacks, heavy armored units can absorb the initial shock of enemy fire and continue pushing forward to suppress opposing positions. If fully integrated into the front lines in sufficient numbers, these heavy combat systems could decisively shift the regional defensive balance by establishing an impenetrable wall of steel. They allow frontline commanders to transition from a highly vulnerable reactive posture into a sustained, resilient defensive operation, effectively neutralizing the long-range artillery advantage of the adversary and securing the survival of the frontline logistics network. Despite the deep tactical desire for heavy main battle tanks, the stark reality remains that these premium assets arrive far too slowly, leaving frontline units in a state of ongoing anxiety. Political hesitation from exporting countries and immense production bottlenecks mean that the critical gap in heavy armor cannot be quickly repaired. Consequently, lighter combat systems like the AMX-10 RC are continuously forced into intense engagements that they were never engineered to handle, leaving crews dangerously exposed. With leading global defense analysts arguing that this creates an enduring geopolitical dilemma, the tragic mismatch between optimistic political messaging and brutal combat realities offers a profound lesson for modern defense planning. True military effectiveness cannot be measured by a premium price tag or sophisticated technology alone, but rather by how seamlessly a weapon fits into the specific tactical environment where it must operate. When a wealthy nation provides military assistance designed for rapid desert skirmishes to a country facing massive multi-layered artillery fortresses, it highlights a deep disconnect in strategic thinking. This paradox leaves frontline forces feeling completely defenseless while trusting a platform that becomes practically useless under intensive bombardment. The ongoing debate regarding this controversial deployment has ignited an absolute battlefield of conflicting opinions across the international defense community. Was the rapid introduction of the AMX-10 RC a genius survival move that effectively shattered Western political taboos and opened the gateway for heavier tanks? Or was it the biggest strategic mistake in modern Ukrainian history that unnecessarily put elite crews at extreme risk for mere political theater? Let us know your perspective in the comments section below, and remember to like and subscribe to join our growing global community of defense analysts as we continue to dissect the realities of modern warfare.